everyone. My name is James Shelby. I'm a client executive at Ins Group Inc., and I want to thank you for joining me for the latest Ask the Expert episode about cyber policy planning. Today I'll be speaking more specifically about what a cyber policy is, who it helps, and why it's important for associations. I've got a handful of questions to get to, and I'm eager to answer as many as I can, so let's get started. Cyber is a broad term that generally refers to policies that cover an association for the costs associated with data breaches and other instances where sensitive information is either compromised or released. We would recommend that the policy cover the association itself, board members and other volunteers working on behalf of the association, and anyone who works as an agent for the association, such as the property manager. Cyber policies are important because, as we know from seeing the news, data breaches are becoming more and more common. We often hear from board members that the property management company should be responsible for covering data breaches. However, if the breach or incident originates at the association level, the association may be responsible. For example, a board member could accidentally introduce malware into the property management portal. Or let's say the board treasurer has her satchel stolen, which has paper files including login instructions for the property management portal and the association's online banking platform. Associations can benefit from these policies for several reasons. They often provide resources to prevent a breach or to reduce the costs associated with the breach. Premium is a cost the association can budget for, whereas the cost of a breach is unknown until it happens. Cyber policies can also protect the property management company if they're brought into a claim while acting on behalf of the association. In a moment, we'll discuss why that's important. Well, there are three scenarios that come to my mind. In the first scenario, a property manager authorizes a bank withdrawal for services for the board. The withdrawal turns out to be fraudulent, and you might ask, well, in that case, who's liable? As long as the property manager did this at the request of the board, the association will be liable for that loss. Now, the second scenario is where the HOA's website is actually hacked through the property management company's secure portal. In that case, because it originates from the property management company, the property manager will be liable. In the third case, the HOA social media account is hacked or an authorized user logs in and puts disparaging remarks about a resident as well as that resident's personal information. Now, obviously, it's shared throughout the association, leading to the resident's harassment. In that case, because once again it originates from the HOA's website, the association will be responsible. Sure, I'm going to put the disclaimer that I'm not an attorney, but normally when we see association contracts with a property management company, the contract includes wording that the association is going to indemnify and defend the property manager for claims against the manager or management company as long as they're working on the association's behalf. There are usually exceptions for these types of indemnity agreements. One of them is gross negligence, which is the intentional disregard of a known risk and the foreseeable consequences of that risk. Willful misconduct, which is a known danger that's ignored, and fraud. Since these issues are typically decided in court, the association may have to defend the property manager until the court makes a ruling. In scenario one that we talked about a moment ago, the property manager orders a bank withdrawal at the direction of the board. Well, if they do that, then the association will be responsible for the claim. However, if it were proven that the property manager was actually colluding with another party to commit computer fraud, then the property manager will be responsible for that loss. And we would recommend, because there are some situations where we see very bare bones cyber policies that just cover notification cost, we'd recommend something more than that. We would want to see cyber policies include instant response costs like notification and also public relations expenses. We'd also like to see coverage to restore or recover any compromised or damaged data, and coverage for network extortion. I know you've probably heard about ransomware. The policy should also pay defense costs and damages or fines for liability issues, such as damage to a third party's network, demands by people or institutions that suffered financial loss due to a breach, and regulatory proceedings or fines from governmental agencies. Also, in the age of social media, we feel like media liability should be a part of the cyber product. Coverage for social engineering and computer fraud can be provided by the cyber policy, but they may also be provided by the association's crime policy. As far as pricing goes, it often is based on the amount of coverage that you want to purchase and the size of the association. However, we have options that range from $307 annual premium for a $500,000 limit up to $950 in annual premium for a $1 million limit. That's all the time we have for this episode of Ask the Expert. Thank you to First Service Residential for hosting me, and a special thanks to the board members who joined today's discussion. If you have additional cyber policy questions, please send them to letstalk-tx@ffsresidential.com or jshelby@insgroup.net, and I'll do my best to respond. Stay safe and happy holidays.